Good afternoon. Thanks everybody for being here for our honors convocation, and welcome to our ceremony. As the Dean of Oakland University William Beaumont School of Medicine, it is a privilege to be here in person to celebrate today the outstanding achievements of our faculty, staff, and the medical students from all four of our classes. Let's start the ceremony by recognizing those individuals who were previously inducted into a medical honor society. As I acknowledge the honor, will the recipients please stand and be recognized? Last year, 20 of you were inducted into the Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. By being selected as AOA members, you have proven that you are leaders who have attained distinction in scholarship while demonstrating an unselfish dedication to serving others. More than 100 Beaumont physicians are lifetime members of the Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Medical Society. When your name is called, please remain standing and we'll hold our applause until the end. Students from the class of 2022 who were inducted in October are Hassan Akram, Miriam Own, Nicholas Baker, Antonio Dekow, Maya Desai, Nina Dicklich, Jackson Harley, Rachel Harvey, Alyssa Heinschel, Olivia Hillier, Amy Height, Ryan Nearstead, Ian Penvose, Grace Peterson, Ryan Rogers, Zachary Rollins, Jamie Simpson, Benjamin Travers, Hannah Van Duzen, and Joshua Volan. Thank you. You can be seated. Students inducted into this next honor society are peer nominated for their extraordinary compassion and patient-centered care. I'm speaking of the Gold Humanism Honor Society. Medical students and Beaumont residents are inducted into this society at OUWB's special Faircloth Evening of Medical Humanism. When your name is called, please remain standing, and again, we'll hold our applause until the end. The medical students from the class of 2023 who were inducted this year are Tariq Ansari, Nicholas Ang, Kimberly Anyadike, Karen Bersani, Mallory Evans, Maj Faraj, Mahmoud Hijai, Charlene Shah, Yusuf Ibrahim, Eric James, Kelsey Kazak, Doyle Lang, Batul Nasser, Kaiten Padaroki, Abiba Salahu, Elizabeth Seeley, Brittany Silverman, Sukhmani Singh, and Ashley Williams. There were also 6 Beaumont residents inducted. They are busy in their residencies and could not join us today, but I wanted you, the OUWB family, to know that 3 of them are alumni from our class of 2020. They are Kojo Asante, Dr. Matthew Lippard, and Dr. Allison Thomas. There are 4 class of 2022 students who have received honors from the Association of Pathology's Chairs Honor Society. These students demonstrate scholastic achievement in the pathology curriculum, in their research, and are recognized for their leadership qualities. They are Brendan Metcalf, Alan Wynn, Patricia Russley, and Michelle Wu. Congratulations to all of the inductees. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Jason Wasserman, Associate Professor in the Department of Foundational Medical Studies and Director of Student Professionalism, who will recognize the recipients of the Arnold P. Gold Foundation Leonard Tao Humanism in Medicine Award. This is the first year that that award is being presented. Jason.
Thank you, Dean Meswell. Welcome, everybody. It's really my privilege to introduce this award, not only because I think it represents the core values that are baked into the DNA of OUWB, but as Dean Meswell said, because this is the inaugural offering of this award. We've had a Gold Humanism Honor Society for just a few years, and we were grateful to be able to add this award to it, which not only recognizes really excellence in humanism, but comes with a cash award provided by the Gold Foundation itself. So the Leonard Tao Humanism in Medicine Award, presented by the Arnold P. Gold Foundation, recognizes graduating medical students and faculty members who are exemplars of humanism in patient care. Participating medical schools select one graduating medical student and one faculty member each year. The award also, as I mentioned, includes a check for $500. So recipients also become inducted into the Gold Humanism Honor Society as lifelong members. So our inaugural student award winner was also nominated by her peers and then selected by a review committee of OUWB Gold Humanism Honor Society alumni. So it's truly an honor insofar as it was peer nominated. It recognizes core values that we hold and was actually quite competitive. So I'd like to recognize that student, Meda Raja. If Meda is here. Thanks, Meda. Congratulations, and I'll just say a few words about Meda. Absolutely one of our finest students, incredibly involved in the community, including at Gary Bernstein Clinic, the MLK Diabetes event. But I think perhaps most importantly, and if you were at the Faircloth lecture, you heard from her peers about the integrity and compassion with which she carries herself. And I think that probably speaks volumes more than anything else. So join me in congratulating Meda. Thank you. And Meda's certificate and check were given to her already at the Faircloth event. We're not holding back on that money. All right, so our inaugural Faculty TOE Award winner was nominated by third and fourth year students and then selected by the Gold Humanism Honor Society Selection Committee. So our inaugural winner from the faculty is Dr. Stephen Joseph from the Department of Emergency Medicine. So congratulations, Dr. Joseph. I'll just say a few words. Dr. Joseph is heavily involved in mentorship of students within the context of the emergency medicine clerkship, which he directs. But of note, students in that clerkship point out quite often that he really works hard to make that an experience that's valuable for all students, no matter what residency they're going into, and I see nods in the audience affirming that. He's also been an advisor for the Emergency Medicine Interest Group, and practices patient-centered care, obviously in quick, complicated, and high-stress situations, but I think also, and perhaps especially important today, student-centered care. So join me in congratulating Dr. Joseph. So now recognize Dean Dwayne Mezwa for the Distinguished Service Awards. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Jason, and congratulations to our recipients. At this point in the program, and on behalf of OUWB, we'll be honoring 3 Beaumont physicians for their founding roles in the development of our school. It is with deep appreciation that we thank them for their commitment to our school and our students. I'm speaking of my colleagues, Dr. Jeffrey DeVries, founding Associate Dean for Graduate Medical Education and designated institutional official and vice president for graduate medical education at Beaumont. Dr. Paul Misch, former chair and professor of the Department of Family Medicine and Community Health, and Dr. Ronald Taylor, former chair and professor of the Department of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation. Each of these physicians will receive the Oakland University William Beaumont School of Medicine Distinguished Service Award, a chair with an inscription engraved in it commemorating their commitment to OUWB. I've asked that the physicians who are currently in their roles to provide the introduction for each recipient and join me on stage for the presentation of the chair. So I now welcome Dr. Ryan Fringer, current Associate Dean for Graduate Medical Education, to begin the presentation for Dr. DeVries. So Jeff, if you can join us up here as well.
It is truly an honor for me to present this award for distinguished service to Dr. Jeffrey DeVries. Dr. DeVries received his bachelor's and medical degree from the University of Michigan and a Master's of Public Health from the University of Rochester in Rochester, New York. He completed his pediatric residency at the Children's Hospital of Michigan in Detroit and a Robert Wood Johnson sponsored General Pediatrics Academic Development Fellowship at the University of Rochester also. Currently, he is the Vice President for Graduate Medical Education at Beaumont and is my predecessor as the Associate Dean for Graduate Medical Education. In terms of contribution to the medical school, there are few spaces where Dr. DeVries has not left his fingerprints, from the Capstone and Embark program to residents as teachers, to his broad advocacy for all learners within Beaumont. Dr. DeVries is certainly deserving of this recognition. The most unique aspect of Dr. DeVries is not his achievements, but his qualities. He is one of the most kind, empathic, and giving people that I have ever met. These qualities guide him in his personal life, his career, and professional relationships. I can recall many times when I have either sought or imagined Jeff's response to a particular question or scenario to assist me in pivoting my response. So if there's one thing that you take away from an interaction with Dr. DeVries, I hope it will be integrating that ethos into your life and clinical practice. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Jeffrey DeVries as a recipient of the OUWB Distinguished Service Award.
Well, first, thank you very much, Dr. Fringer. You read it just as I wrote it. I just want to say how tremendously honored I am to be a part of a school that really looks upon kindness, compassion, and community as the major portions of becoming an excellent doctor is really a great honor. I've learned much more than I've been able to contribute. And I just want to thank everyone and tell you how proud we are of all of you who are being honored and all who are going to be graduating. You have the mark of a wonderful school and a wonderful education. And again, it's been a tremendous privilege for me to be part of it. Thank you.
And now I'd like to welcome Dr. David Lick, the chair of the Department of Family Medicine and Community Health, to the stage to participate in Dr. Mishra's award ceremony. So, Paul, if you want to join us up here as well, please.
Paul? Just like the last time we did this, I will keep this at 2 minutes or less per your request, but it really is my pleasure to recognize Dr. Paul Mish for his Distinguished Service Award. For those of you that don't know Dr. Mish, he has served at Beaumont for almost 40 years. Actually, he was one of the main reasons that I came to Beaumont 22 years ago to do my residency when he was the program director. He served as the chair of the Department of Family Medicine and Community Health here at the medical school since its inception, and he has been just critically involved in many different ways. He's been on many committees, including strategic planning for the school, the institutional review, LCME accreditation, and then also as chair of the OUWB Executive Committee. Under his leadership, the third year and fourth year family medicine clerkships have thrived and are really now cornerstones of the medical education for our OUWB students. Many of you may not know, but he was also instrumental in helping to set up the student-run free clinic at the Gary Bernstein Community Health Center in Pontiac. And so that has not only enhanced the education of the students, but also the health of the community that we serve. Knowing him as I do, though, despite all of his high-level achievements, I know that really one of the things that is really a great passion for him was the actual direct education of learners, both residents and students. Many of you may remember that he actively gave lectures in both the first year and the second year here on the OU campus, and would give lectures to the students and the residents as well during their third-year clerkship and during their residency. When he taught, both in the office and in the hospital, he was consistently known as one of the most patient and enthusiastic teachers that we have. So I've served as interim chair for almost a year, and it's almost daily that I continue to discover just how involved Dr. Misch was in all aspects of OUWB and Beaumont Health as well. It's really hard to overstate the impact that Dr. Paul Misch has had on OUWB, and I can't think of a person more deserving for this. Congratulations.
All right. I would echo everything that Dr. DeVries said about this place. This is a unique medical school. It was a medical school set up to be a community where we have camaraderie and we take care of each other, a community taking care of the community with an emphasis on kindness. And that is unique and it's special and it permeates this place. And as a faculty, it was a real pleasure, and as a chair, to work in that kind of setting, to have a collaborative environment where I worked with other chairs and other leaders and to help this medical school grow, because that camaraderie and that type of atmosphere just makes it a fun place to work in, and it really promoted the growth and expertise that developed in this medical school. I can tell you I've moved on, I've retired, I've moved to a new state, but I'm still teaching, and at the new health system that I moved to, we have 3 OUWB grads that are in the residency, and that residency program identifies those grads as among the best grads that they see. So this medical school is getting an outstanding reputation, should be very proud. And I thank the dean, the faculty here, and the staff for making the place that it is. It was my pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Now, please join me in welcoming Dr. Justin Ryuta, the current chair of the Department of Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, to present Dr. Ron Taylor with his Distinguished Service Award. So, Ron, if you can join us up here, please.
Thanks, Ron.
I'm afraid of what he's going to say, but we'll...
Only 4 words. We're here to honor Dr. Ronald Taylor with the Distinguished Service Award, which he is so deserving of. I met Dr. Taylor when I was a 4th-year medical student, like many of you, and I remember walking in the office and seeing this magnetic personality, this person with this energy, and this person with this professionalism that I wanted to be. And that was one of the reasons why I came to Beaumont, one of the reasons why I've been here. Dr. Taylor's been in this department for 46 years. He ran our department as a department chair for 20 years until he graciously stepped down and gave me the reins in January of this year. What Ron stands for is a doctor's doctor. He believes in our profession. He believes the honorable nature of our profession. By virtue of that, Ron was part of such a substantial growth of our department. We went from a point at which he started, we had no residents, to the point now that we've graduated 125 physiatrists, many of them who have stayed at Beaumont, and many of them have gone on to teach in the medical school. The second component of that, he's advanced our department to the extent that we manage more rehab patients for patients with illness and disability than any other area in the country. And Ron has been a very profound influence on my life. His entrepreneurial spirit, his energy, and his advocacy have been great parts of our program. One of the cultures of our department was set forth by Ron, and it was, when all else fails, take care of the patient. And to this date, that is what we continue to do, and we will continue to do going forward. Ron has always been the strongest advocate for patients. He believes that physicians should be knowledgeable and physicians should be educated. He spends an extraordinary amount of time not just training us to take care of patients, but to be good physicians, to be good family members, to be good doctors, and to be good people in the community. For that reason, it was natural when the medical school came into existence that we all got involved. And we all are involved at every level of the medical school, teaching the musculoskeletal course, 3rd-year clerkships, and creating time for residents who aren't even going into our field to prepare them for their future endeavors. Ron's a tremendous individual. There will never be another one like him. I've been very fortunate to work with him. He is a magnetic guy who everybody loves to be around, and he will always have an influence on our department.
Thank you. I'll keep this to less than 2 hours. But I want to thank Dean Meswa. I want to thank Dr. Ryuta. And I want to thank the medical school for this honor, which I had no idea was coming actually, but is very, very important to me. And I want to welcome all of you medical students into the field of medicine. It is a field and a fraternity that you should be very proud of. We work hard, we do what we think is right, and we try and help our patients. And that's really what it's all about. Teaching medical students, teaching residents has been extremely rewarding for me, and I want to thank all of my 125 residents and I don't know how many medical students over 45 years for allowing me to be part of your education. It's an honor and it's a privilege. And for all of you, it's a privilege to be in this profession. Unlike so much of what's happening in the world today, and certainly in medicine with business ethics and things like that, we don't keep score by how much money we make. We keep score by how many people we help. And there's nothing more rewarding than helping a patient and a family. Our rule on our rehab unit is we spend a great deal of attention to the mother rule. And pay attention to this and you'll always be a good doctor. If that patient was your mother, how would you want that patient treated? And doing that is incredibly rewarding. And I just want to share one quick story. A couple of years ago, we had a patient who had a stroke and she did well on the rehab and her husband was a reverend. And he was very thankful for everything that we did. And we come in on rounds and she's ready to go home. And he says, "Doctor, would you mind if I said a prayer for all of you?" I said, "Well, to tell you the truth, we've got a Jew, a Catholic, a Muslim, and a few atheists in here, so I don't know what." He says, "That's okay, Doc. There's only one God." And he put us all in a circle, said a prayer, and we walked out, and we were all in tears. And what I said to all my residents is, "You can't buy that. That's what you do as a doctor. It's a noble profession, and I only hope that all of you have anywhere near as much satisfaction from it as I have had over all my years." So I want to thank you. I want to thank my wife, who's tolerated me for way too long. She's an OU graduate. We've been married for 53 years, and she's a marital therapist, so I haven't won an argument in 53 years. Thank you.
So thanks to Drs. DeVries, Mission, Taylor for inspiring the physicians who follow your lead and for your dedication to shaping medical students into compassionate OUWB physicians. I think I'm going to just go off script for 1 minute to just say a few things about these three. How incredibly lucky as a dean to have these kind of chairs. Paul, anything I ever asked of you. It was about 3 months left before he was going to leave, and I had to get one more task force out of him. And he did it. He did that in record time and turned it around. I remember all of our chair meetings with Ron. Ron is the conscience of our chair group. The old curmudgeon who really gave us all of the sage advice when we get into some heavy discussions. Ron always had the answer, and he really helped us see through some very difficult times. And Jeff, you are the kindest person I've ever met. You see kindness in the devil, but, and you always are there to support our residents and our students, and I truly admire you for that. So I appreciate it. We've been very, very lucky to have these kind of chairs in the development of the school, and it continues with our current chairs, so we're extremely proud of them. So next, it's my honor to introduce Captain Gregory Shirley, who will preside over the military promotion ceremonies, followed by the presentation of the 2022 Excellence in Public Health Award from the United States Public Health Service. Thank you, Captain Shirley. You can now come up and present the awards. Thank you.
I'd just like to say before presenting the award, feel very honored to be here. It seems like a very special place, made up of very special people. So thank you again. All the medical students are what we consider O1s or first level officers, and upon graduation, which will happen tomorrow, they automatically promote into the O3 category, which is a junior grade officer. With that, there is a process, a ceremony where they take the oath and make all these promises, and you will hear all that, but more importantly, it's really affirming to everybody here and themselves that work they're going to do, the promise of taking care of patients within the services and serving in the military, which is a huge honor, for me anyway, and I hope that is the same for you. All I can say is you just graduated medical school, you're still in training, but as junior officers, you are expected to train those who are below you, so don't forget that. Always remember to listen to your senior enlisted because they are a great resource to guide you through to become mid-level officers and senior officers. Hopefully that's in your future as well. So now what we're going to do is swear them in together, and after that, they are now promoted the next higher rank. In medical school, they actually skip the O2 level and go straight to O3. Then we're going to have the family members do a ceremonial changing of the shoulder boards or a pin. So if I could invite the two students up, Michael Sun and Daniel Ludema, if you could come up along with your families or the persons that you've chosen to pin on your new rank. Alrighty, here we go. Raise your right hand. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will continue to bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution and the country whose course it directs, and that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation, so help me God. All right, we will start with Michael Sun, representing the United States Army. He is being promoted to the rank of captain, and he is being pinned by his friend, David Randall. Let's give a round of applause to Captain Michael Sun. All right, to my right, the next student to be promoted is Daniel Ludema. Daniel is representing the United States Navy and is being promoted to the rank of lieutenant. He is being pinned by his father, Michael Ludema, and his mother, and your name is? Nancy. I will say it's a lot of pressure for the people changing the ranks. All right, let's give a round of applause to Lieutenant Michael Luna. You can have a seat. Thank you again. I will say it is an honor to not only, as you've well heard, to serve as a physician, but as well an extreme honor to serve in the United States military in whatever capacity. I will tell the two, I've been to many conferences with military physicians, and they are outstanding people as well as outstanding physicians. So I can only imagine the type of physicians that you two are going to become. So thank you again. Next, I'd like to move on to presenting the 2022 Excellence in Public Health Award. As noted before, my name is Captain Gregory Shirley. I'm a family practice physician by trade, and I'm a Coast Guard medical officer in the Commissioned Corps of the United States Public Health Service. I'm here on behalf of the Public Health Service Physician Professional Advisory Committee to recognize an outstanding student from Oakland University who has been selected to receive the 2022 Excellence in Public Health Award. The Public Health Service was founded in 1798 to provide medical care to sailors and merchant seamen with yellow fever and malaria. Over the subsequent 224 years, our mission has brought to deliver health promotion and disease prevention programs to all people. Today, the Commissioned Corps of the Public Health Service is dedicated to serving the front lines in the nation's fight against disease and poor health conditions. And I will say, it's become front and center, obviously, in the last 2 years with the pandemic. And so today, we recognize Anissa Hashmi with the 2022 Excellence in Public Health Award. Thank you for your hard work and dedication to public health, and we hope you consider a career with the U.S. Public Health Service. So next up on stage, I'd like for Dr. Sarah Lerchenfeld, Associate Professor, Department of Foundational Medicine, Medical Studies, to come to the stage.
All right. At the end of each academic year, the Committee on Student Awards asks course directors to nominate outstanding students from their course. The committee, using a broad set of criteria, selects 3 students from each of the first 2 years to receive the Outstanding Student Award. Today, we would like to recognize students from the class of 2022, in which their first 2 years at OUWB distinguished themselves for excellence in academic performance, leadership, service, and scholarship. So the recipients from the class of 2022 of the Outstanding First Year Student Awards are Jackson Harley, Grace Peterson, and I think, go ahead and come on up. and Jamie Simpson. The recipients from the class of 2022 of the Outstanding Second Year Student Awards are Amy Height, Grace Peterson, and Zachary Rollins. All right, let's give them one big round of applause. I now invite Dr. Pierre Morris, the Associate Dean for Clinical Education and Associate Professor in the Department of Foundational Medical Studies, to speak.
Within the various clerkships and specialty departments, students have an opportunity to distinguish themselves in a number of ways in the clinical environment, including being active participants, motivated learners, exhibiting professionalism, and showcasing exceptional knowledge and diagnostic skills. At the end of the third and fourth year clerkships, clinical faculty and course directors select one student for each clerkship area who exemplifies the spirit of the departmental award. I would like to recognize the following students for your commitment to physician excellence. The third year awards are Award for Outstanding Performance in Family Medicine Clerkship, and that award is for Kelly Fahey. Congratulations. The next award is for Outstanding Performance in the Internal Medicine Clerkship, and that's for Kenneth Barker. He's unfortunately not able to attend today. The next award is for Outstanding Performance in the Neurology Clerkship, and that one is for Nina Dicklich. Come on up. Congratulations. Oh, it'll work. Congratulations. The next award is for Outstanding Performance in the Obstetrics and Gynecology Clerkship, and that one is for Antonio Dickow. Congratulations. The next award is for an outstanding performance in the pediatrics clerkship, and that one is for Benjamin Malamet.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
The next award is an outstanding award for performance in the psychiatry clerkship, and that one is for Alyssa Heinschel. Congratulations. The next third-year clerkship award is for outstanding performance in the surgery clerkship, and that one is for Grace Peterson. Come on up. In recognition of the fourth-year clinical education, the following outstanding performance awards are presented. Award for outstanding performance in anesthesia and pain management, and that one is for Edward Ford. Come on up. Continuing for the M4s, it's the award for outstanding performance in the diagnostic medicine clerkship, and that one is for Marion Owen. Congratulations. The next award is for outstanding performance in the emergency medicine clerkship, and that one's for Benjamin Travers. Congratulations to all the Clinical Excellence Awards. Let's give them one more round of applause. I now invite Dr. Pale Shaw, Assistant Dean of Diversity and Inclusion and Assistant Professor of the Department of Emergency Medicine, as our next presenter.
Good afternoon. The American Medical Women's Association is an organization which functions at the local, national, and international level to advance women in medicine and improve women's health. This is achieved by providing and developing leadership, advocacy, education, expertise, mentoring, and strategic alliances. Each year, AMWA awards the Glasgow-Rubin Certificates of Commendation for Academic Achievement to women who graduate in the top 10% of their medical school graduating classes. As the advisor to the OUWB chapter of AMWA, I take great pride in presenting the following students with the Glasgow-Rubin Certificate. Would the following students please come to the stage to receive their certificates? Grace Peterson. Amy Height. Oh, here, Amy. Miriam Owen. Cassie Neen. Rachel Harvey. and Maya Desai. We could give them one final round of applause. I now invite Dr. Kara Sorensky, Embark Program Co-Director, Associate Professor, and Vice Chair, Department of Foundational Studies, as our next presenter.
Hello. Embark is a required scholarly concentration program here at OUWB consisting of longitudinal research training courses and an independent faculty-mentored research project. Participating in research during undergraduate medical education benefits students in many areas, including analytical skills, communication skills, self-directed learning, appreciation of scientific literature, and an interest in academic medicine careers. Along with traditional research training curricula, the Embark program aims to provide a safe learning environment and curricular scaffolding for students to develop their non-cognitive, personal, and professional practice skills through experiential learning. The Embark program could not succeed without the support of our faculty mentors, currently standing at over 375 mentors and co-mentors. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your support. It's now my pleasure to present the following awards for excellence in research. So the following students received Embark Competitive Scholarship Awards for their manuscripts as judged based on the potential impact of their research topic, the quality of the study design, clear and concise descriptions of results and conclusions, and overall impressions on the manuscript. Project titles and faculty mentors are highlighted in your program. So the Kenneth Matzik Embark Program Manuscript of the Year Award was received by Lindsay Hobbs for her manuscript, Pregnancy Increases Platelet Reactivity and Induces a Thrombogenic Platelet Transcriptome in Mice. Okay, the Ann V. Nicholson Embark Program Manuscript of the Year first runner-up was received by Rachel Harvey for her manuscript, Physician-Directed versus Self-Directed Activity Restrictions in Children After Routine Pediatric Surgery, a Prospective Study. The Kenneth Matzik Embark Program Manuscript of the Year second runner-up was received by Alexander Belinsky for his manuscript, Transcatheter Aortic Valve Replacement Temporal Trends, Procedural Volume Impact on Length of Stay and Readmissions. The Ravitz Foundation Embark Program Manuscript of the Year Honorable Mention was received by Amy Cox for her manuscript, The Impact of Previous Healthcare Experience on the Practice of Medicine. The Newman Family Foundation Embark Competitive Scholarship Award was received by Colin Valentine for his manuscript, Impact of Polycystic Ovary Syndrome on Cardiovascular Disease in Obese Female Youth. These are out of order. Congratulations. Thank you. A Ravitz Foundation Embark Competitive Scholarship Award was received by Amy Height for her manuscript, Reporting of Concussion Symptoms in High School-Aged Athletes. A Ravitz Foundation Embark Competitive Scholarship Award was received by Annette Schakowsky for her manuscript, Relatedness of Urinary E. coli Strains and Connection Between Strain Type in Clinical Presentation. These are out of order. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. 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 T All right, and a Ravitz Foundation Embark Competitive Scholarship was received by Benjamin Malamet for his manuscript Resistance in Gram-Negative Bacteria in the Pediatric Patient Population by Age and Sex. All right, congratulations to all. And I would now like to introduce Dr. Tiffany Williams, Director of Diversity and Inclusion, to present the next awards.
Thank you, Dr. Sarinsky, and good afternoon. I am honored to be able to present this year's Awards for Diversity and Excellence. Each year, this award is given to students, a student, a faculty, and staff who demonstrate sustained commitment to fostering health and diversity, equity, and inclusion through their achievement in leadership, professionalism, service, scholarship, above and beyond what is expected of them. This year's awardees has served in the local and national leadership positions, served as mentors, facilitators, volunteer extensively, and developed scholarship and research that has helped build a diverse community. The Excellence in Diversity Faculty Award goes to Dr. Rebecca Pratt, Professor of Foundation Medical Studies. Dr. Pratt is considered to be one of the most inclusive professors at OUWB. In the words of the person who nominated her, she truly goes above and beyond for her students, and has always emphasized humanity between all of us. Dr. Pratt's work and scholarship throughout her tenure at OUWB has included diversity and equity and inclusion. As a recent Diversity Champion graduate, she demonstrates her commitment to creating and nurturing an inclusive environment within OUWB. Champions like Dr. Pratt empathizes with others, listens with care and understanding, demonstrates self-awareness and open-mindedness. She continues to create a space that is free of judgment for all students, faculty, and staff alike. Dr. Rebecca Pratt, Faculty of Diversity. The Excellence in Diversity Staff Award goes to Dr. Deidre Pitts, Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, Faculty Affairs, and Diversity and Inclusion. Dr. Pitts demonstrates leadership and commitment in several ways. In order to address concerns with recruitment for underrepresented candidates for faculty positions, she has led and implemented the Faculty Liaison Program for the School of Medicine, an initiative that has been wholeheartedly supported and accepted by the School of Medicine, and additionally marked and became a success when the university adopted the School of Medicine's liaison program at large. Most recently, she has developed the Staff Diversity Liaison Program, which was implemented during the pandemic. During the pandemic and after the death of George Floyd, under Dean Pitt's leadership, over 60 professional development sessions surrounding race, racism, unconscious bias, navigating difficult conversations, understanding the impact of microaggressions, and more. An additional initiative has been the Diversity Champion Program. There has been 2 successful cohorts trained. Dr. Pitts was the brainchild behind this initiative. Also noteworthy are her contribution efforts to offer face-to-face unconscious bias trainings to several constituents outside of the OUWB community, those being Oakland University's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Council, the Writing Center, the Conduct Committee, athletics, and various departments within Beaumont Health System. In each circumstance, she met with leadership to identify certain concerns to customize training specific to their areas. Sessions were facilitated using cases that were written by Dr. Pitts. In addition to her unconscious bias facilitation, she has also facilitated a session called How to Say Something When You See Something or Hear Something, offered across the OU and Beaumont communities. Recently, in order to move the diversity and inclusion initiatives to the next level, Dr. Pitts identified a team of individuals to become trained facilitators for Stepping In, a program designed by the University of Virginia to help facilitate difficult conversations surrounding bias, microaggressions, and prejudice in the workplace. This has expanded the pool of individuals who can facilitate training and enhance the professional development. As an active member of the university's Diversity and Equity Inclusion Council, she advocates for underrepresented groups across the campus community. Although she specifically works for the School of Medicine, she is often approached to be a voice for the underrepresented within and outside of OUWB. Dean Pitts was also responsible for reframing the OUWB Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Council, a cross-representation of OUWB faculty, staff, and students who work together to evaluate DEI needs and then make recommendations for improvement. After facilitating a focus group with students who were concerned about sense of belonging, Dr. Pitts guided the DEIC to formulate a list of recommendations to the deans for addressing sense of belonging and inclusivity within OUWB. These recommendations were presented to the executive team. As a result, the following recommendations have been adopted. Implementation of ground rules for class participation, developed to ensure supportive learning environment for everyone. 2, a diversity statement is included in all OUWB syllabi. The beginning of the Diversity Champion Program. Dean Pitts was the first individual within the Oakland University community to become a certified unconscious bias trainer. In summary, Dr. Pitts has set the standard that many try to duplicate, and although she would state that she is not a diversity and inclusion is not her strong point, she has become respected and sought after authority on diversity and inclusion initiatives, both regionally and nationally. Dean Pitts. And our last award, the Diversity and Excellence for Student, is Eric James from the class of 2023. Eric has been involved, you could have clapped. Eric has been involved in numerous student organizations and leadership positions, many of which have been directly related to diversity and inclusion, including the Queers and Allies, the Medical Students for Choice, American Medical Association, American Medical Student Association, Emergency Medicine Interest Group, the Internal Medicine Interest Group. He has also served as a national member of the Standing Committee on the LGBTQ+ affairs as part of the AMA Medical Students section, where he authored a report on the importance of accurate terminology in policy and a resolution on allyship training, both of which were adopted at the annual meeting in 2021. Currently, the vice chair of the Standing Committee for the LGBTQ+ affairs responsibilities for overseeing and directing all of the projects, reports, and resolution of the committee. He is a student representative on the DEIC and the curriculum committee that makes suggestions in areas that the curriculum could be improved related to DEI at OUWB. Eric has written several papers and presented on diversity and inclusion efforts. Publications in the Journal of General Internal Medicine, Academic Medicine, as well as Medical Student Educator. And has done a number of presentations on a variety of diversity topics at different conferences, including the Call to Action Letter, grading systems, and the effects on diversity and gender inclusion in student organizations. Eric is a true leader among his peers. His contributions have been a great impact and helped to change the way we think about DEI at OUWB within our community. Congratulations to Eric James. Next, I invite Dr. Jigsa Ginchu, Chair of the OUWB Faculty Recognition Committee and Assistant Professor for the Department of Foundation Medical Studies.
Thank you. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to recognize faculty for their extraordinary achievements. So each year, OUWB honors its faculty members for excellence in teaching, service, and research through our annual OUWB Faculty Awards. The award process is overseen by the OUWB Faculty Recognition Committee, which solicits and reviews nominations. On behalf of the committee, I am pleased to present the winners of this year's OUWB Faculty Recognition Awards. Under the category of Foundational Medical Studies Educator of the Year Award, the recipient of this award is Dr. Attardi, Assistant Professor at the Department of Foundational Medical Studies. I have a brief description of the achievements of Dr. Attardi. Dr. Attardi's skill as an educator both in online and in-person environment is outstanding. Her skills in regard was particularly exemplified during the massive transition to online learning which occurred following the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. These efforts included the preparation of lists of available technology resources, the evidence-based best practice guides which were disseminated among the faculty. Dr. Attardi's efforts in this online teaching and learning have also garnered national and international attention in the scientific community, establishing her as a leader in online education practices, with the invitation from the American Association for Anatomy to deliver a Zoom-based video conference specific to teaching anatomy virtually, and appearances on the United Kingdom-based anatomy education podcast. In addition, Dr. Attardi has successfully conducted several impressive medical education research studies and serves as an expert on educational research methodologies, both within the department and as well as on the national scale. Dr. Attardi is greatly appreciated by her students, and I will quote one student comment, quote, "Dr. Attardi is well-organized, passionate, and an excellent teacher. There has not been a single lecture from where I was confused on a topic. I loved the online modules and found her descriptions and ways of remembering key details to be excellent. I had very little histology background before coming to OUWB, and Dr. Attardi has made me very excited about the subject." Dr. Attardi, congratulations. 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 So the next award is the Clinical Science Educator of the Year Award. Dr. Hope is the recipient of this award, Assistant Professor at the Department of Emergency Medicine. Dr. Hope's commitment to teaching medical students is outstanding, both using interactive teaching strategies in classroom and as a leader by example outside the classrooms. In addition to emergency medicine topics, she is passionate about social justice, teaching compassionate and competent care to transgender patients and other marginalized populations. How to recognize and treat victims of human trafficking and recognizing and mitigating bias. Other popular topics she teaches includes overcoming the imposter syndrome, confidence building, resilience strategies, and healthy habit creation and maintenance. Dr. Hope has taught in such diverse venues as homeless shelters to live interviews on Good Morning America. Dr. Hope has been deeply involved in extensive efforts to improve the health and well-being of the community. She has volunteered her time to TOPS, House of Providence, Coats Detroit, the Hope Warming Shelter, Foster Closet of Michigan, and the Dear to Detroit by doing free clinical work, education, and fundraising. Dr. Hope is extremely popular among OUWB students, and I will quote one student comment, quote, Dr. Hope is an inspiring lecturer and leader. I always appreciated her lectures, and I felt like I was attending a TED Talk, which I knew people pay thousands for. She had a great ability to present self-improvement material while seemingly totally authentic and engaging. She was funny, smart, and seems like a great person. Quote, Dr. Hope is not attending this ceremony. She's out of state for medical conference presentation, but she sent a message saying, I love being a part of OUWB and I'm so touched to be honored. I wish I could be there in person. Please. The next award is Foundational Medical Study Excellence in Research. And the recipient of the award is Dr. Kukulu, professor at the Department of Foundational Medical Studies. Please have it. Dr. Kukulu joined OUWB in 2020 as a professor with tenure on the investigation track. He has over 20 years of research experience using in vitro cerebrovascular models to examine toxicological, pharmacokinetics, and pharmacodynamic actions of centrally acting agents, blood-brain barrier functions, and cell-to-cell interactions with the innate immune system. In the past 10 years, his research has focused on the pathophysiology of a tobacco smoke and e-cigarette toxicity with the identification of prodromal factors for pathogenesis and progression of cerebrovascular impairments, and potential countermeasures such as antioxidant treatments and promotion of the innate antioxidative response system. His research is well respected, cutting edge, impactful, timely, and well supported by the National Institute of Health. In 2021, he received approximately $2 million in funding from the NIH and has 4 additional proposals for funding in the various stages of preparation. Dr. Kukulu published more than 80 manuscripts and 10 book chapters and lists more than 150 abstracts. Congratulations, Dr. Kukulu. Thank you. Congratulations. So the next award is the Clinical Excellence in Research Award. And the recipient of this award is Dr. Bahal, Associate Professor at the Department of Emergency Medicine. Dr. Bahal is well recognized for his expertise, clinical care, and research contributions in the field of point of care, ultrasound, and vascular access. In his career, he has presented 20 abstracts, published 14 manuscripts, and obtained over $1.5 million in extramural funding over the past 36 months. What's more impressive, though, is that in nearly every research endeavor, Dr. Bahal has created a teaching opportunity for fellows, residents, and medical students alike, and mentored a number of trainees through a research process. Through his mentorship, 7 medical students, 17 residents, and 7 fellows have presented at national meetings. And 18 medical students, 25 residents, and 8 fellows have been named authors in peer-reviewed publications. In 2021, Dr. Bahal published 10 manuscripts in peer-reviewed journals, obtained 5 grants for investigator-initiated proposals, and delivered several national and international presentations. Furthermore, he continued his COVID-19 research and published a key work highlighting the benefits of vaccination in reducing hospitalization and severe disease. This publication received national attention via numerous media channels. Dr. Bahal is not in attendance to accept his certificate today. Please applause for having him. Under Foundational Medical Studies Excellence in Service, the recipient of the award is Dr. Sarsky, Associate Professor at the Department of Foundational Medical Studies. Dr. Sarsky, please. Dr. Sarsky's commitment to service at OUWB, long-standing and impactful. The most impressive demonstration of her commitment to service is her work with the EMBARK program. Dr. Sarsky, serving as EMBARK program director, developed a vision for EMBARK, including new tracking, recruitment, curricula, and most importantly, a focus on engagement of both faculty and students. In addition, Dr. Sarsky has been serving the school as president of the Faculty Assembly, Scholarship Committee Chair, FMS Vice Chair, and other OUWB and external academic services. Dr. Sarsky initiated creative way to foster an instructive and inclusive online community during the response to COVID pandemic. And Dr. Sarsky also initiated software solutions such as Slack, advocated for utilization of Zoom, and developed guidelines to help our faculty better communicate with each other to foster collaboration and empower them to be a productive group. Congratulations, Dr. Sarsky. So the last award is Clinical Excellence in Service. And the recipient of this award is Dr. Feliz, Assistant Professor at the Department of Emergency Medicine. Dr. Feliz has contributed a tremendous amount of time to OUWB, serving on the admissions committee since 2015 and as vice chair of the committee between 2016 and 21. Dr. Felice also became a PRISM mentor in 2021, mentoring students on personal wellness, career development, and professional identity formation. In addition, Dr. Felice service contribution extends to OUWB Street Medicine program, where he spent countless hours each month providing medical care to homeless and underserved population of Pontiac. Dr. Felice formally took over leadership of the entire program as its medical director, secured a stable stream of funding from his department, and recruited additional physicians and residents. This allowed street medicine to expand from Pontiac into Royal Oak and essentially cemented the program as one of the premier community initiatives in OUWB and across the entire university and health system. Congratulations, Dr. Felice. Lastly, let's please give another round of applause to our 6 winners. And finally, many dedicated and wonderful faculty were nominated this year. And I would like to just take a moment to show them our gratitude for their continued dedication to OUWB. So our excellent educators includes Dr. Patino and Dr. Wayne from Foundational Medical Studies. And excellent educator from clinical faculty is Dr. Berger. Excellent researchers, Dr. Gametu and Dr. Hers from Foundational Medical Studies. Finally, I will invite Luke Fickenwars, class of 2024, who is going to present the Golden Apple Awards. Thank you.
The Oakland University William Beaumont School of Medicine Golden Apple Awards were created and formed by the medical student body, represented by OUWB student representatives elected by the medical school government under the direction of the Faculty Recognition Committee. The goal of this Golden Apple Awards is to give the student body the ability to recognize excellent teaching residents, fellows, and faculty at the medical school. This award system is a student-driven process where the student body nominates, votes, and elects top residents, fellows, and faculty in particular teaching roles of medical education, from the preclinical years to the wards and clinics throughout Beaumont Health. Through this award, we hope to increase recognition of faculty who work above and beyond their role in the training of OUWB's future physicians. The following awardees were selected by students for their excellence in teaching by the class of 2023, 24, and 25 for the academic year 2020 to 2021, and the class of 2022 for academic year 2021 to 2022 before the transition for residency. Nominations will open this month for the class of 2023, 24, and 25 to select their Golden Apple candidates for excellent teaching in academic year 2021 to 2022 as we wrap up another exciting academic year in the coming months. So congratulations to the following recipients of the Golden Apple Awards announced at this year's Honors Convocation. The Golden Apple Award for the M1 Foundational Medical Studies faculty, class of 2024, is Dr. Stephanie Attardi. The Golden Apple Award for M1 Clinical Faculty, given by class of 2024, is Dr. Majid Khan. The Golden Apple Award for M2 Foundational Medical Studies faculty, given by the class of 2023, is Dr. Changiz Mohyeddini. The Golden Apple Award for M2 Clinical Faculty, given by the class of 2023, is Dr. Daniel Menkes. The Golden Apple Award for the M3 Teaching Resident / Fellow, given by the class of 2022, is Dr. Jessica Tennant. The Golden Apple Award for the M3 Teaching Attending, given by the class of 2022, is Dr. Kongrit Chaisata. The Golden Apple Award for M4 Teaching Resident / Fellow is Dr. Michael Sobin. All right, and the last one, the Golden Apple Award for the M4 Teaching Attending, given by the class of 2022, is Dr. Danielle Turner Lawrence. All right, next, a group of students from the OUWB class of 2022 would like to make a special presentation to their PRISM mentors. The PRISM mentors are clinical faculty who have dedicated themselves to supporting and guiding a group of 18 students throughout their medical education. Please welcome to the stage Michael Musa, class of 2022, to the stage, who will begin the PRISM mentor recognition presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody. Last but not least, we have mentor recognition. Hang on with us. There's perhaps nothing more important than our mentors, right? So today, the class of 2022 will honor those clinical faculty who have served as our PRISM mentors, guiding us through the many milestones which have prepared us for tomorrow, the day we will become physicians. In recognition of each of these physicians, whom we call mentors, a member of each PRISM group will be presenting a gift to their individual mentors as a thank you for their time, advice, and tremendous influence they have had on us during these last 4 years. I am Michael Musa. I'm representing Dr. Austin's PRISM group. Dr. Austin, please join us. So each PRISM mentor group selects a fun name to represent themselves, often a play on our mentor's name or specialty. We are Storytime, Dr. Austin's greatest asset, best storyteller you'll ever meet. Dr. Austin, thank you for your unwavering support that has helped us get to this finish line. We are thankful for the guidance, compassion, and reassurance you have given us throughout these past 4 years. Though we have had the privilege of sharing many memories with you, not limited to community cleanups, Topgolf, and hanging out at the rec center, when choosing a story that describes your character, this particular occasion came to mind. As we sat around a circle at the apple orchard in the fall of our first year of medical school, you shared many stories. Dr. Austin, you're a gifted storyteller, effortlessly infusing them with both humor and lessons. You took this opportunity to discuss the importance of not taking things to heart in the workplace. We were assured that though the unexpected will happen and patients may mistreat us or accidents may happen, we mustn't take it personally. Dr. Austin, you also taught us that using patience, empathy, and humor will allow us to make the most out of any situation. any interaction, both for us and for the patient. You're an exemplary physician, and it is nothing short of a privilege having you as a mentor. I'm going to go off the script for a second here. As many of you know, faculty definitely know, some of the family members might. Us med students, we can be a little unpleasant sometimes. You know, you take a group of people, variety of maturity levels, and you put them through this pressure chamber that is med school, and we get a little unpleasant. So now, we meet with our PRISM mentors about once a month. We'll sit in a circle, kind of story time circle, and none of us would talk. I mean, we wanted to be there, but we didn't. We love our mentors, but imagine you're a physician. You just spent hours rounding, hours with students, teaching, dealing with patients, many of them non-compliant. You're like, you head to us now, and we're sitting there like, just, and she still carried every conversation, encouraged us, and just, I reflect back on the just emotional energy that had to have required, and just, Dr. Austin, the best mentor, no offense to anyone else. We're obsessed with her, and it's been nothing short of a blessing to have her as our mentor for life. If you'll answer, you do answer, but if you'll have us. You've done, so now I'll go back on script. Thank you, Dr. Austin, for giving us the courage of stepping out of our comfort zone and building a stronger character. We cannot thank you enough for the advice and laughs you've brought to our PRISM group and for always being there for us. It has truly made our journey easier, and on behalf of Storytime, I present you a small token of our appreciation for the years you have dealt with us.
Thank you.
My name is Ian Penbose, and I am a member of Dr. Barwani's PRISM group. On behalf of my group, I would like to thank Dr. Barwani for the time you have given to motivate, support, and be there for us. Thank you, Dr. Barwani, for always being a willing listener and sharing your invaluable insight into practicing good medicine and being a better person. We will always be grateful for your influence on our medical careers. Dr. Barwani, you have been a phenomenal mentor and consistently instilled words of wisdom that helped us cope with the stressors of medical school. One of the characteristics that immediately struck me about you was your selflessness. Regardless of what was going on around you or in your life, you always went above and beyond to make time for us as students. During our first year, when we were especially busy with times and exams, you opened up your home to us, where we spent the afternoon making pizza and playing board games. It allowed us to come together as a group and forget about the stress that we were having. This epitomizes you as a physician, a teacher, a mentor, and an individual. You have always been there for us, and even during our hardest days. Dr. Barwani, you have this wonderful way of empathizing with our experiences and framing them in a way that allows you to see the positive, and we are very, very grateful for this lesson. Thank you, Dr. Barwani, for your wisdom, your kindness, and always being present as a guiding force these past 4 years. Allowing us to always feel welcome, heard, regardless of the situation, your constant support, and your willingness to share your perspective are deeply appreciated. Thank you for all of your wise advice, encouragement through all of the hurdles of medical school. Dr. Barwani, on behalf of our PRISM group, I present you with a small token of appreciation. We sincerely appreciate your dedication, your mentorship, and all of your support. I now invite my great friend, Amy Height, to the stage along with her PRISM mentor, Dr. Effendi.
Thank you so much, Ian. All righty, we'll get started with Dr. Effendi here in a moment. So we've kind of compiled a couple of quotes from, various members of our PRISM group, and so I'm just going to read a few of them here to Dr. Effendi and to you all so you can get to know what a great human being he is and what a great mentor he was. So as a part of the PRISM group Effendi, I'm Amy Height. I'd like to thank our mentor for supporting and guiding us these past 4 years throughout the difficult journey that was medical school. We're really grateful for the way that you led our PRISM group by example. You've been an obviously excellent nephrologist. You've been seeking personal growth and encouraged all members of our PRISM group really at all times. Thank you, Dr. Effendi, for being so involved in our group. Even though COVID made it very difficult to connect at times, we knew that you were there for us if we needed any support. Your advice and mentorship have been instrumental in helping us navigate our way through medical school. Dr. Effendi, you strive to be great in all aspects of your life and are always working towards self-improvement. Besides being an incredible and extremely busy nephrologist, I saw all of the ways in which you were always striving towards personal growth. I mean, at one point, there was a big workout kick. We had a workout session for PRISM, and Dr. Effendi's out there with all the guys like lifting super heavy weights and really getting into his physical fitness. During one of our other sessions, I know that we talked about, things that we're doing outside of medicine. And one of the things he was doing was learning French, besides for, being in the hospital at all hours and taking maybe a couple of trips to France. So it was really motivating as a student just to see the ways in which he was striving for greatness in all aspects of his life. Thank you for all the special memories that you've given us during our PRISM sessions. This person mentioned, the time that we had such a lovely dinner at your house. You opened your home and backyard to all of us. And then also when we went to the escape room and just barely got out in time. You've always been willing to go to the extra mile for students that needed you. And we really appreciate that you've always believed in us, cheered us on, and had an open ear. The support you've given us through this journey has been absolutely invaluable, and on behalf of the Effendis, we present to you a small token of our appreciation for the support and guidance that you've given us. Can't forget to invite the next person up. I now invite my colleague and classmate, Nina Diklich, to the stage, along with her PRISM mentor, Dr. Karam Chandani.
So, hello everyone. My name is Nina Diklich, and on behalf of my PRISM group, the Varsha Virtuosos, we would like to thank Dr. Varsha from the bottom of our hearts for your support and your guidance throughout medical school. Dr. Varsha, you are irreplaceable. You radiate warmth, kindness, and compassion for all. We are beyond grateful to have you as our mentor. During our M1 year, our entire group was very stressed over the pressure of medical school, as Michael Musa kind of told you all about. And one of the things that really remained with me is Dr. Varsha told us to remain under the curve. In other words, just hang on, be average, and you'll make it through. At the time, the stress and the uncertainty that we were facing were incredible. But these words, your words, have remained with me and our group throughout medical school and helped me, keep moving forward. As we are nearing graduation tomorrow, I reflect on your words of encouragement and your mentorship. Instead of these large gestures, I am instead overwhelmed by these memories of constant and consistent support that you have provided. Now we are here 4 years later under the curve becoming physicians. Thank you. We are so incredibly grateful and thankful for your support. Thank you. So again, I have lots of different things from people in the group, but thank you, Dr. Varsha, for caring so deeply for us and opening your home to our group for a wonderful Indian meal and giving us a chance to connect with one another. It is one of our favorite memories from medical school. These past 4 years, you have nurtured our growth and equipped us with helpful life knowledge outside of just the traditional medical school curricula. Your very thoughtful texts and phone calls demonstrated how much you really cared about us. Varsha quite often checked in with the group. I got birthday texts every year. I got a call on the day that I matched. She was very involved in every single one of our lives just outside of the day-to-day academics. Dr. Varsha, we cannot thank you enough for your mentorship, your guidance, and your thoughtfulness through this journey of medical school. And on behalf of the Varsha Virtuosos, I present to you a small token of our appreciation. We are deeply grateful to have you as a part of our lives. And now I would like to invite my colleague, classmate, the wonderful Ben Malamut, up to the stage with his mentor, Dr. Julie Price.
Hey, Dr. Price.
Hi.
I am so lucky to be here and representing our PRISM group, Dr. Price is Right. From the beginning of medical school, back when we went to an apple orchard together, to the very end as we celebrated our match over a pizza dinner, Dr. Price has always been a positive light and a constant reminder of the amazing profession we're about to enter. Dr. Price, having you as our mentor has made a difference in our academic career by your support and guidance to see us through tough times and celebrate the good ones as well. One of the many things we appreciate about you, Dr. Price, is how you always knew exactly what we needed, always supporting us through the challenges of medical school and celebrating our successes with each important milestone passed. As we were bogged down with the intense course load of the first 2 years, you were always there to motivate us and share your own hilarious stories from medical school as well. Dr. Price, your support has been a constant from our first day to our last day of medical school, and we are extremely thankful to have had you as our mentor. Thank you, Dr. Price, for dedicating your time, sharing your wisdom, your memories, your stories, and for encouraging us as we walk through this particularly challenging time of our life. You took time out of your busy schedule and family life to make yourself available to us to help us navigate the winding path of medical school and of our careers. Dr. Price, you showed us the importance of being resilient in times of adversity and the growth that occurs when you approach adversity with true grit and uphold the values of a physician. We are lucky to have worked with you the past 4 years, and on behalf of Dr. Price is Right, I present you a small token of appreciation for sharing all of your wisdom. You've been an excellent mentor to each of us and truly represent the core values of a physician. Oh, this side. Okay. There you go. And I would like to next invite my wonderful colleague and classmate, Grace Peterson, to the stage to recognize her mentor, Dr. Rachel Rode.
So I'm Grace Peterson, and as a member of the Road Runners, I would like to thank our PRISM mentor, Dr. Rachel Rode, for her guidance and support these last 4 years. Unfortunately, Dr. Rode could not be here today, but I'm still very honored to be able to share some comments and some sharing ideas from the rest of our PRISM group. So, Dr. Rode, you have been an amazing mentor throughout our medical school journey, from giving advice to supporting us through the many different obstacles we faced. We are so grateful for all the support that you have given us, your positive outlook on our future, and for being there when we needed you. Back in my M1 year, I was very concerned about the start of the organ system courses, and you met me on campus and talked through my concerns and helped me form a plan on how to succeed. After my second year, when I told you that I had decided to pursue orthopedic surgery as my specialty, you told me that you knew I was going to be an orthopod from the beginning. You have helped me in all aspects of my medical school career, and I'm so thankful that you are my PRISM mentor, as I know that I would not be where I am today without your guidance and mentorship. Thank you so much for taking the time to get to know us all and allowing us to relax on our busiest of days. An especially fond memory was when we went to the cider mill and went hiking as a whole PRISM group. We are so grateful for all of the advice that you have given us over the years. So on behalf of the Roadrunners, I present a small token of appreciation for Dr. Rhodes' time, dedication, and support throughout our journey in medical school. Thank you to Dr. Rhode. And I believe Dr. Kramchandani is going to come and accept on her behalf. Thank you so much. I now invite my colleague and classmate, Kwesi Asante, to the stage for the final PRISM presentation, along with Dr. Kramchandani, who is standing in for Dr. Stallion again.
Hello, my name is Kwesi Asante, and I'm a proud member of Dr. Stallion's PRISM group, the Stallion Stampede. Unfortunately, Dr. Stallion's not able to make it today, so Dr. Kramchandani is going to be here to accept his award on his behalf. So I would like to thank Dr. Stallion on behalf of our group for always going above and beyond in fostering a safe and nurturing environment for the students to navigate and rise above each challenge that they faced in medical school. Dr. Stallion has always been a kind and flexible mentor, and we're entirely indebted to him for listening to all of our concerns and helping in any way possible at any time of the day. We are so appreciative of Dr. Stallion consistently being present, wishing us well, making extra time to meet with us, and giving us support and advice when and where it was needed, regardless of how busy he was clinically. The amount of support and encouragement and mentoring that he showed was deeply appreciated, and our medical journey would not have been the same without him. His ability to be a great mentor in different settings was what made him a huge pleasure. I know personally, as an international student, an African, and one of the first few people in my family in the medical field, I grew up with not having an African in the medical field as a mentor. So being able to be a part of his group was a huge blessing, and it kind of became my cornerstone throughout these 4 years personally. When I needed emotional support, he was always a text away, always had his office open and ready to talk, and he made that time needed. When I was struggling in any of the M1, M2, and beyond courses, he was always there to give me kind of a sit down, understand where I was struggling, and help me work through it, even if it took a couple of hours sometimes. We greatly appreciated how Dr. Stallion continuously also challenged us to look at situations from different points of views before coming to conclusions about the situations. I remember sitting in the lounge and having discussions about just different presenters that came in class and how they were kind of giving their perspective, and not everyone agreed or disagreed with the presenter, but he would always sit us down and just ask us to take a step back and see where that presenter was coming from before making our conclusions about those presentations. And it's, I don't know, I'm pretty sure about all our group, but I know it's helped me immensely when facing patients for the first time, whether that be difficult patients, whether that be patients that were just frantic, but also just wanted to have the best care for themselves and for their significant others or their children. An especially memorable night that Dr. Stallion kind of hosted, which gets talked about from a lot of medical students, was the taco truck night that he hosted at his place, where he rented out a taco truck, parked it in front of his place, and invited our entire PRISM group, as well as his entire pediatric department, over to his house to just converse and chat and have a great time. We were super thankful for how generous of a mentor he was, and as well as how kind he was. We would like to thank Dr. Stallion for constantly demonstrating to us what it's like to be a compassionate, thorough, intelligent, and dedicated physician. His guidance and support these past 4 years has been invaluable to us. And on behalf of the Stallion Stampede, I would like to present Dr. Stallion with a small token of our appreciation. We can't thank him enough. And now I would like to invite Dr. Linda Misra, Associate Professor of the Department of Internal Medicine and former Interim Associate Dean of Undergraduate Medical Education, to the stage to present the Michelle D. Rainbow Award.
Thank you, Kwesi. Good afternoon, everyone. Dr. Michelle Rabel was the founding Associate Dean for Undergraduate Medical Education at the Oakland University William Beaumont School of Medicine. She was recruited here by OUWB's founding dean, Dr. Folberg, not only for her expertise in medical education and assessment methodologies, but also because Dr. Folberg knew Michelle very well on a personal level. He knew that Dr. Rabel's personality and passion for learning would directly impact the culture he envisioned for this new school. The culture with which you are all now so familiar is due in no small part to Michelle's influence during the early days of the formation of the school. Michelle Rabel died on June 21st, 2010, while undergoing treatment for acute myeloid leukemia. During chemotherapy, she had told me how disappointed she was that she might not ever meet any of the students who matriculate into this school. She also told me she was fearful that her contributions to the formation of the school might be forgotten in the event of her death. I promised her I would not let this happen. Michelle's husband, Dr. Stephen Miles, established the Dr. Michelle D. Rabel Fund for medical students in her memory, and this endowment helps fund this award. In discussing with other founding administrative staff additional ways to ensure Dr. Rabel's legacy, we decided that a student award should be given in Michelle's memory to a first-year medical student who best personifies the qualities that Dr. Rabel brought to the school. These qualities include a student who is compassionate, a learner and educator who cares deeply about others and who functions as a mentor for everyone he or she meets. This student is one who all medical students everywhere should want to emulate. This student is nominated and selected by his or her peers. As I look upon the faces of the students and faculty members of this school, and I see and hear the evidence of their accomplishments and their passion for learning, I think Michelle would have been proud of what was created here. The Michelle D. Rabel Award this year goes to Stephen Greenwell, OUWB class of 2024. I would like to welcome Dr. Dean Meswa back up to the stage.
All right, we're in the home stretch. Before we conclude our honors convocation, I'd like to express my real sincere gratitude to the PRISM mentors who were recognized by the students a few minutes ago. I could hear the affection in their voices when they spoke about the 4 years they spent advising them and cheering them on. It takes a very special person to commit to the PRISM program, and we are privileged that you all shared your time and your talents. I realize that the last couple of years offered very little opportunity to connect in person, but each of you found a way to accomplish the PRISM goals. I understand that Dr. Effendi will be re-upping and participating again, and will be a mentor to the incoming M1s, our class of 2026. Thank you very much. I have a special acknowledgement for Dr. Kamchandani and Dr. Rode. They have been mentors to several classes over the years. Your enthusiasm for the program and your devotion to our students is very much appreciated. And Dr. Kamchandani, since 2011, not only have you been a mentor, and for almost 3 years now, you've had the responsibility of being our course director. You put your heart and soul into the program, and it does not go unnoticed. We are grateful for your many years of leadership and dedicated to the PRISM program. To all the mentors, there's no doubt in my mind that long after medical school, these students will remember your kindness, your story time, your words of wisdom, the fun, and the friendships. Your impact on these students is immeasurable, and I can't thank you enough. So this concludes our honors convocation, and I thank you all for coming. You can please stay as long as you want. There are some snacks and refreshments in the back that are available. And I look forward to seeing all of you at commencement tomorrow at 2 o'clock in person in the arena. See you all there.